Hello guys, Mr. Mold here, once again bringing you an update on a situation. How are you guys doing today? I decided that I wanted to bring you to a job site where it's not your common element, not the run-of-the-mill home with problems with microbial activity. This happens to be a building, and you guys heard me talk about sick building syndrome on many occasions, and this is a prevalent issue. This is a problem where, you know, one person has noticed that they've been getting sick, that there's microbial activity, that they've had, you know, poor indoor air quality, and then they decide to fix the problem, to actually call a professional mold remediation company. And then when we do our forensic investigation and we actually get to the point and the root of the problem, we notice that it's a common element that's literally affecting the entire building. And what makes the problem with sick building syndrome is when you have a situation such as the one that I want to show you guys. I'm going to take you in there deep into the root, the heart of the problem. This is things that you read, that you hear about in the news, but I wanted to give you guys a glimpse and to come in up close so you can see toxic mold. We're going to come in at a point where we're already towards the tail end of the project. However, even though the actual property and the office in this case, it happens to be none other than a medical practice and a clinic. It's actually a private clinician's office. And of course, that's a big problem, having patients coming in and out. We've remediated, and we're in the process of removing and getting the mold remediated and fixed, eradicated, and it's all bagged up in 6-mil poly bags. We've got everything going, but I want to show you guys where the problem is, the heart of the problem, the connection that not only affects this specific office, but it affects the entire building. The biggest problem is that for the moment, a lot of the other tenants or owners and the other offices are not aware of this situation, and we are in the process right now of making them aware that this is a problem that's probably affecting the health of all the occupants in this building. When this happens, a lot of people continuously communicate with the fact that they are sick, and many times they are ignored by either the association, the building, the management. In this case, it's not the case, luckily. Everybody's very willing to cooperate. But unfortunately, when it comes to other buildings, specifically government buildings, where we have a very similar issue to what we have right now, or military housing, that's not the case. Everybody wants to hush-hush, not say anything, not talk about the M word. And this is something that I would like to expose, mainly because it's a health concern. It's a big issue. All you out there that follow me, that normally understand the situations that you have personally gone through with being affected by sick building syndrome and having upper management, associations, and the board say, hey, that's nothing, that's not a problem, and having the maintenance guys or the personnel of the building just painting over the mold or hiding it, spraying and praying, as you guys heard me say before. This is a situation where, you know, the management really cares, hence the reason we are bringing this to light. We are fixing the problem, and now we're ready to disclose the fact that there's a common denominator in the building that will just continue to affect, like I said, all the occupants. So follow me. I'm going to put on the mask. We're going to go into the containment, and we're actually going to go, like I said, into the heart of the problem and showing you different things. So follow me. We have now entered the first layer of the containment, which is called the decontamination chamber. This chamber is designed to be able to decontaminate, where the guys and the workers will remove their hazmat suits and their PPE, which is personal equipment, before they get to the common area and to other sections of this property. Let's go inside where we can show you. It's going to be a little loud in here because of the sound of the machines that have to be going. We have negative air pressure. We have HEPA scrubbers. These are the 6 mil poly bags that have been goosenecked and double tied. You can see by the damage. I just want to get up close so you can see the mold right up close. This place has been extremely contaminated with toxic mold. If you look over here, you will see how the problem started to create colonies. As you've heard me say before, these spores, they start off at 0.3 microns. They're microscopic. However, they start forming colonies, and you can see how the different colonies of millions per cubic inch are forming, and the whole section was saturated with mold. We're talking about this area here, this section here, all the area where they had the sink. As you can see, these are cabinets. Okay, they had a countertop with sink over here. This is one of the testing rooms. And the problem is rooting from this section over here. Let's walk over here so we can go into the other containment. And show you how it is that when you discover mold, there's no such thing as cutting corners. What we do is we continue. Gentlemen, let me go in there real quick. Thank you very much. How you guys doing today? Good? Déjame entrar por aquí. Sale por aquí, por el lado acá, para yo meterme por ahí. Gracias. So, you're going to step in here, and I'm going to talk from the other side so we can show you exactly where the problem is coming from. Okay, so it's a tight space, guys. And I know that it's going to be hard to see what I'm about to explain, but this is a riser that feeds the entire building. As you can see, there's electrical conduit, there's condensate lines, and the opening goes all the way down to the first floor. Now, we're in a building that's 10 stories, and we're on the 6th floor. So this hole that you see here on the slab, okay, is the same thing on every floor. So these lines, the conduit, electrical, plumbing, and also mechanical and exhaust, will go right through this line straight up to the top of the building. Now, the problem that's happened here is that the separation from this location and that space and everything around should have been a concrete, a sealed location, fire rated. What the biggest problem has been is that we have organic material, we have drywall. So when these lines were condensating, because the material that you see here deteriorated, and it was causing the relative humidity to rise, and of course condensation was taking place. You get that, and you mix that with a temperature in here which is different than the temperature differential out here in the ambient air, and it starts to sweat. This sweat and this condensation has gone down to every single unit below. Now, if you look over here, if you come around here, this side, you'll come around here to this side. We're talking about a very tight space. Now you're going to come in here real quick with me, and you can actually from there see how the separation and the same thing that's going on in this space and the space below and every floor They don't have any fire rated. It's not concrete. It's all organic. So this differential in temperatures, what it's caused is for microbial activity to start growing. This is the smallest and the area that has the least amount of mold, okay, which is the reason we don't have full protective equipment at this time, because all the major mold has been interrupted, like the one I showed you in the 6 ml bags. But this over here is going on in every single floor, from the first all the way up to the 10th floor. So this is a situation, guys, that has caused the mold problem to take place to the point where people have gotten sick. And the question that we all have is, do you know if either your workplace, imagine this, instead of it being a commercial application or a medical building, if it's the condo where you live in. This happens a lot in older buildings where there is an element that is causing the rest of the units to get contaminated. And as a result of that, people continue to get sick. And a lot of times, it's not even that the management wants to hide these details. Problem is that they don't know because an investigation or a forensic type inspection has never taken place. A lot of times they see the mold, they fix it, but the most important thing is, where is the source? Where is it coming from? Without the source, the mold can't grow. It needs a constant source to grow. This environment right here in that cavity that I showed you had every single ingredient for mold to grow. It was in the dark. It's humid. There's organic material galore for the mold to consume and break down. So I wanted to show you guys how it is that a small situation that can easily be fixed simply by sealing correctly areas of a building that will not affect everyone in the building from the very get-go. And when these things get resolved, everything goes back to a normal ecology and normality. So this is what happens. This is what we call latent defect, hidden mold. Nobody had a clue that this was going on until it actually materialized on the outside. I wanted to bring you guys in here firsthand to take a look at what happens when there's things that are under control and things that really are hidden, that nobody knows. But if you start feeling sick, if you have headaches, if you know that something's not right when you walk into a building, in your place, in your apartment, whether it be your workplace, I want you guys to really think a little bit more outside the box and say, could it be the environment? Everyone now is taking care of their health for the new year. They're eating the right foods, they're dieting, they're exercising. But I want everybody to get into the mind frame to understand, are you guys safe in the environment and the place where you work or the place where you live? Are your kids safe? And if the answer is, I don't know, then we would love to help you investigate it. We would love to help you understand more of what is going on in your environment. So guys, if you want to win the indoor air quality fight, Mr. Mold will purify your air at the speed of light. And remember, if you need to get a hold of us, it's MrMoldRemoval.com. You can also reach us at 1-844-MOLD-OUT. That's 1-844-MOLD-OUT. Thank you guys for following me into this journey so you can get into the deep and the nitty-gritty of what the dark side of mold toxicity is. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day.